This is Bill Cut Nation. Watch, enjoy, and save some money.
I just think people have missed a trick as well, because also on the news, I mean, credit cards from the government, issued by the government, have been frozen today because of £675 million overspend. And that is on wasteful things. That's not on productive things, that's on wasteful things. So the government are spending £675 million on buying a newspaper when they get a train to go down to Parliament. Oh my God, I mean, are people brain dead? Honestly, it baffles me that these people are still in these and running.
Really great, because HMRC love them a grey area. You want to know how you should do something? Don't expect it to be clear in the legislation. Don't expect HMRC to have one rule on it. And don't expect every accountant to interpret the rules that we have the same way. It's wonderful. We recently had a query from a client. They expected us to be doing something one way. We were doing it another. I asked around in my network, because one of the best things about being a business owner is having people that do what you do, so you can ask them questions. I asked around and they all did it different ways. So I went to one of the experts that we have, that we occasionally refer things to if it's out of the scope of what we can do, which is also really important as a business owner. Always have people that are experts in stuff that you aren't. And he came back and said, one of them things, you can do it 6 different ways. It sort of depends on your interpretation. If you speak to one HMRC officer, they'll want it this way and tell you you're wrong. But if you speak to another person in the same team, they will want it that way and tell you that you're wrong. So you just have to pick an option and hope for the best. And when you are getting paid to do people's accounts and getting paid to interpret these rules in the best way you can, when the answer is HMRC don't even know what they want, it's so hard to win. It's just one of those things. But if you ever think, well, my old accountant didn't do that, it might not be that your old account is wrong or the new account is wrong. It might be just a different interpretation of the rules. And if you're ever unsure, just ask your accountant the question, and they should be happy to explain why they do it the way that they do it. And if they're not happy
with the whole thing, I'm self-employed. I can't afford to have time off. I'm not rich. I'm like you, struggling every month to pay the bills, knowing that the council tax is going to go up again, and also now knowing that the energy price is going to go up again by 6%. It's absolutely ridiculous. The country is broken, 100% broken.
I really don't know what the answer is.
So a Labour MP has just quit the government over the proposed welfare cuts. She's the first one to quit the government over this, and it's very important because of who she is and what her position is. So her name is Vicky Foxcroft, and you've probably never heard of her. She's not one of the most famous Labour MPs out there, but her position as a government whip is very important because it's her job to get negotiations with other MPs, to organise them, to get them to vote, to make sure that legislation gets through. And she has quit because she cannot get this legislation through. She cannot in good conscience vote for it, never mind to get other MPs to vote for it, because that would have been her job. And she has probably been talking with MPs for months about trying to, negotiate, make changes, make the bill slightly better, but she just can't do it in good conscience. And my guess is that she is going to be the first of many to quit. And she specifically said in her resignation letter that she can't in good conscience put this bill forward to try and force people back into work by cutting benefits. She believes that we should be helping support people back into work by incentivizing them, by helping them more, by giving them more resources. And now she's quit, and probably more are going to follow.
Why are shops closing down? High streets and roads becoming, looking like a war zone. It looks fairly odd to see shops closing everywhere. Where's the vibrancy? Where are the people? We need more people. We need to see a foot flow of people on the streets. People need to be in shops. People need to be talking to each other, integrating, conversing. What's happened to the British High Street? What's happening? What is happening?
Angry enough. I'm livid, and I'm still not angry enough. I do think civil unrest is on the way in the next few years, but why are we not doing anything about it now? Why are we allowing them to rinse us financially, mentally, give it all to the people that are undeserving, in my opinion? People that haven't worked, haven't paid tax, haven't lived here their whole life, haven't, raised a family, looked after their elderly. Why do they get everything? Just done with it, to be honest with you.
Well, it looks like the Doge School.
It looks beautiful in the park. Absolutely beautiful. But at the end of the day, who's going to get stinged for this? Because you can guarantee now, when the weather's getting winter and really colder, that the energy companies are going to start charging even more. I can guarantee my bills are going to be up like God knows how much in the next couple of months. And that can't be fair. It can't be. I bet the energy companies are rubbing their hands with glee as soon as they see a bit of snow outside. As soon as they look at that temperature, and they look at that temperature dropping, it's like money in their eyes. You know what I mean? They're counting their money, knowing there's going to be families of 3 kids, 4 kids, who can't afford to heat up the house. There's going to be old people coming out of their house who are frail, in the cold, walking around the street just to stay out of the house to keep warm. You haven't even got like local libraries that open. They're like open for like 2 days a week or 3 days a week. So an old person can't even go and have a little walk in a library and just a little sit down and a read, because the library's bloody closed, but the building is still there. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense, this. It's senseless. It's hard enough for a working man to go out, graft all day, come back to his house and not be able to put his heating on, let alone an old lady living alone, needs a bit of cold, has got arthritis, got bones aching all over the gaff, and can't even afford to heat up their home. It's ridiculous. You know, they're probably priced out of buying tea bags at the moment. You can't even buy tea bags for less than £3 unless they're really cheap ones that don't even taste like tea. Like, you can't even warm yourself up any way at all. You know, you can't put an electric heater on because you've got to plug that into electricity, and that's going to cost you a fortune. Also, what can you do? You can't put the central heating on all day if you're a pensioner and you're not working. You need to sit at home and put your feet up, and you've got medical conditions. What are you supposed to do in this weather? As I said before, in this beautiful park, it looks lovely, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because realistically, you need to heat your house up. Wherever you live, you need to wrap up and heat your house up. But how is it possible? How is it possible when it's just going to get hiked up? I've already saw my bill, and it's not even had a mild winter, and it's gone up at least 30%. 30% just in 1 month, because I pay monthly. I mean, what percentage is going to go up for this month because we've got bloody snow here? It just can't be sustainable. The government needs to intervene and help out working class people, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that put the money into this country. So we need a bit of a handout and a bit of, you know, some clemency. And it's only fair that we do get a bit of clemency in this country, because it's always take, and nobody's ever giving anything, and they need to start giving back. Thanks for watching Bill Cut Nation. Subscribe in the bottom right hand corner, and I'll see you on the next one.